Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 2nd, and it is time for the Bearded Comics What's in the Box. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. I myself did a ton of work, and I am happy to be here at work. It's it's been a thing. Yesterday my daughter turned 6, and I think those of you that have children can already guess what kind of day that entailed. Luckily, we were able to go to Malibu Jack's in Lafayette and just let the kids run, and there's a bunch of other kids that were there, so that was kind of an easy out for us parents. But everything else in the day was exhausting. And the day before was all yard work and doing things, preparing for yesterday. But don't construe that as bitching by any means. It was beautiful, beautiful weather, beautiful experience, and I would do it all again, just with more naps, potentially. But anyway, today, what's in the box, man? I got a stack of slabs to show you, one key issue to show off as well, and a short box of things to show off as well. But before, as always, I want to keep everybody in tune with the events that are happening and going on. June 12th through the 14th, we will be doing the Crawfordsville Strawberry Festival. I will be selling my movie boxes. I will be selling my movie frames. I believe we're going to be doing, I'll be taking my mystery bundles as I always do. And this year, with as crazy as Pokemon is going to be, I'm going to be doing some repacks. I'm going to be doing some sales on repacks. So there will be Pokemon available there as well for your kids to quickly snag and enjoy, because Pokemon is a thing, my friends. I should be having more product here in the store, I believe, tomorrow. So if you are a Pokemon collector and you're watching this video, then hit me up. I'll let you know what I get. And go forward from there. I don't take pre-orders or pre-sales because, frankly, everybody and their brother would be hitting me up on pre-orders and pre-sales if that was something that can be done, because it's a fever. It is so much a fever. People are just foaming at the mouth for Pokemon, pushing little old ladies out of the way with their tennis ball walkers, trying to get to ETBs and so forth. And it's uncalled for. That's not sportsmanlike. That is not okay. Don't do it. But beyond that, let's see. And then in July, again, the Monument Comic Expo is coming quickly. It'll be here in about a month, July 11th, 26th. I will not be at the Indianapolis Comic-Con this weekend. Having a little bit of a personal revolt against the event. If you care for my opinions, come in and talk to me about it. Most of you know already how I feel about it. But yeah, I will not be at Indianapolis Comic-Con. Congratulations to them, however, for landing Nicolas Cage. If you guys didn't see that, that blows my mind that Nicolas Cage is going to be there. I mean, that's a heavy swing. That's a heavy swing. And they said it's his first U.S. First U.S. convention appearance will be in Indianapolis Comic-Con. So how they organize that, I don't know. There had been multiple strings to be pulled to make that happen. If you didn't see the details on it, it's all on the Indianapolis Comic-Con website. I believe photo opportunities are $250. Pre-signed 8x10s are $225, and then if you want something signed in person, $400. So plan accordingly if that's in your wheelhouse. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I mean, it's a very unique opportunity. Face Off, National Treasure, Ghost Rider, the new Spider-Man Noir. If that is one of your, grails, you do you, man. You do you. It's a big thing. It's a deal. It's or not a deal. It's a thing. But anyway, so that's cool. I mean, that is cool. You know, respect where respect is due. But I digress. I did want to show this off. I forgot to kind of bring it up. At the Strawberry Festival, okay? Strawberry Festival, there's no in between. There are two sides of the Strawberry Festival with no gray area. There's a hard line in the middle. Either it rains during the Strawberry Festival and we're wet and miserable and you know, it is what it is, or there's the other half of the spectrum where it is hot and muggy and we're just sweating buckets the entire weekend. Me personally, I would rather be sweating buckets, hot summer heat, dealing with the Strawberry Festival than having it rain and worry about my goods and all of that. So I'm hoping this kind of dry stretch of weather that we got right now is going to continue into next week. We'll see. But as a promotional item for the Strawberry Festival, I am going to be giving away, I guess for lack of a better description, sweat towels, water towels. So these are those absorbent towels that you can dunk in water, dry your face and or wet your face with ice cold water, wrap it around your neck like a summer shawl. You know, do I look cute? Paint me like one of your French girls. Anyway, my wife had the idea to make these. They're pretty cool. We did a little bearded comic logo on one end. First 100 and I think we had 150 of these made. First 150 people that come see me at the Strawberry Festival will get said towel. I will have ice cold water with me during the weekend to allow you to dunk accordingly and either cool yourself off, maybe wipe the sweat from your fevered brow, and then move along with your day. But regardless, 150 people-ish will get a towel courtesy of Bearded Comics. So whether it's raining and you need to dry yourself or vice versa, which I've already said at length at this point, come get one. Okay? I got you. Anyway, so beyond that, you guys want to see some books? I bet you do. This is actually a pretty cool start to the video. Notice this real big thick stack, right? As everybody knows at this point, especially those of you that watch this video, X-Men is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, all-time franchises. And I have been in a fever trying to collect these. The last comic collection that I got actually had a full set of Season 1 and Season 2 of X-Men Adventures. If you are a fan of the series at all, these books are super rad. You know, retelling the stories from the cartoon in comic book form. But much like everything that is kind of 90s related, these books are getting harder and harder to find, going up in value fairly steadily. You know, if you are an X-Men fan, or a fan of the series, I should say, all the voice actors have been doing their rounds, making appearances at cons. Indianapolis will actually have Cal Dodd, which is Wolverine, and then the gentleman that does Nightcrawler and the young lady that plays Storm. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but they will be there. So if you see a book that you like, that you think the voice actor would enjoy signing, which I can pretty much guarantee they'll enjoy signing these, this is your chance. This is your chance. I will probably, notice that we've moved into Season 2, by the way. I will probably bundle these together as complete sets, as complete runs, because I think they deserve that treatment. Again, it's getting hard to find single issues. Used to find them in dollar bins fairly consistently, but that's not the case much anymore, because everybody's snagging them. Now, if you notice, that was Season 1 and Season 2, right? Now we've moved into a very hard to find Season 3, issues. I don't have a full run of these, but I do have the first 5 issues. So again, a solid start to the run. I'm pausing here because this one has been going up in value for the last couple of years. This is a $20 book right now. So notice the homage to X-Men 101, Phoenix showing up and doing her Phoenix stuff. Season 3 is actually pretty centralized around the Phoenix Saga story arc from the cartoon series. And I don't know if it's a Phoenix thing that makes them hard to find, or if it's just a lower print run or what have you, but Season 3 is pretty difficult to come across. So I have the first 5 issues. That's a good start for anybody's collecting needs. Continuing with the 90s run, how about The Simpsons? Yes, it is a very good comic series to collect, including Radioactive Man #1, which is right here, if I do say so myself, including the rest of the Radioactive Man series. If you are a Simpsons fan, this is the perfect opportunity to grab some of these. These are kind of hard to find. Bill Morrison and the voice actors. Again, even Hank Azaria makes a comic appearance every once in a while. People are snagging these up to get these books signed. The Futurama stuff is actually harder to find than the Simpsons books, and those are real pricey, all things considered. But nonetheless, Simpsons books, pretty cool stuff. I do have, actually in the boxes behind me here, the first published Simpsons book, which is like I believe it's called Simpsons Super Stories, has Bartman on the cover. That predates Simpsons #1, but regardless, Simpsons books here at your disposal. Now, let's see here. Let us see here. Did I forget to put these in order? No. Nope, we're good. Okay, last week I showed off some old Western stuff, or older Western stuff. Here's a handful of other things. Outlaw Kid, got a couple of those. Rawhide Kid, Kid Colt. Here is a few random Betty and Veronica's and older Archies. So typically I throw Archies in the free stuff just because Archies are hard to find. But when they're older, or Betty and Veronica, people tend to buy Betty and Veronica more than they do Archie stuff. I'll pull those out and let people be able to find those more conveniently. Wolverine trade paperbacks. Some of these are fairly common to find, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they're Wolverine novellas. And you can, read a really cool Wolverine book. Some random books here: Laugh Olympic, Star Trek 1, Next Gen 1, Star Trek number 37, Life and Times of Leonard Nimoy. This was just a random independent book, Ultra Klutz. And then if you are looking to get something signed by Gene Simmons, who is also at Indianapolis Comic-Con, here is a Kiss book that you could consider. Something else to throw out there, our buddy Stuart Sager actually did a short run of Kiss and a Gene Simmons related title. He will be at Comic-Con, so you could check him out and buy some books from him, or you can come buy them from me, because I do have some Kiss stuff here in the back. That he has already signed, and if you want to get that signed by Gene Simmons, you know what? You've already skipped a step, and you're ahead of everybody else. More random books. Mr. T and the T-Force, Huck Hound, Grateful Dead classic cover, and then The Shadow. If any of you guys are Shadow fans, that's a solid little run on The Shadow. Let's see. Let's continue with more random stuff. How about Thundercats number 11? Ho! Not you. That's what they say during the show. If you've never seen the show, watch it. That could be taken out of context. I apologize if I offended anybody. Cowboys of Moon Mason number 1 from the original series. Reloaded. Any video game or PlayStation fans, this was a ultra violent top-down shooter. It was pretty cool. pretty gnarly stuff. Fun game for sure. Not parent approved. Animaniacs number 2. Yes, number 2. And then let's see here. Not super popular, but Tarzan, King of the Apes. This is number 1, first DC issue, continuation of the other series, and there's some other Tarzan related titles. Korak, the son of Tarzan. Don't ask me how he came about. I don't know that backstory. I don't know his dating habits. Why would you ask me such things? And then Kull, the Conqueror. What was that, 5, 6, and 7, I believe? Yep, 5, 6, and 7. Kull the Conqueror. And then this is pretty cool. This is pretty rad. I stumbled upon a very sizable Savage Dragon collection at a Comic-Con, and put together quite a solid run, most of which has been loosely claimed by somebody else. We haven't quite made a monetary exchange, if you know what I mean, but we will be addressing that shortly, hopefully. But here are the ones that he did not need. Savage Dragon Turtles crossover. That's number 3 of the mini-series. Here's the Megaton one-shot. This is actually number 1 of the ongoing series. Yes, it is still ongoing. There's the Turtle crossover, number 2, and then it just kind of keeps going from there. So these are going to be early issues, right? So in your teens and 20s and so forth. And then it's going to jump. Here's number 59. And then you're going to continue through like the early or late 90s. But yeah, Savage Dragon books. A lot of people getting back on the independent bandwagon. I have had to adapt my ordering habits a bit because more and more people are kind of veering back into independent titles, which is very cool. I mean, independent... kind of has its ebbs and flows, but, it goes to show you kind of what everybody's interest levels are. If Marvel's struggling or if DC's struggling, the independent stuff tends to spike a bit, and that's exactly what I'm seeing. Marvel has been kind of sliding downward in popularity, not as many subscribers to it. Ultimately you still have your Spider-Man and your one-shots. Doom's getting ready to come out, so a lot of people are kind of ramping up for more Doom appearances and the Doom Quest storyline. Daredevil is still hot, because of the TV series, but ultimately independent is just blowing them out of the water, which is saying quite a bit. When you have these kind of smaller consumable stories, where it's only 1 volume and, they just are able to get their point across quickly. They have some relatable characters or story arcs, and everybody's digging it, man. Read a 5 or 6 issue story and then you move on to the next independent story. And that's kind of what I'm seeing. So if you're a part of it, don't count yourself out. There's a revolution about to be had. This book I wanted to make sure to show off. This is actually pretty cool. So this is Marvel Comics Presents The Punisher. This is actually the 5-issue miniseries that was his first kind of solo story. So you had his first appearance in Spider-Man 129. Then he came back in like 136 or something like that and was around for a little while. And then they had his own little miniseries, right? A 5-issue miniseries, the one where he's like folding back and shooting and so forth. This is that collected edition. This is the first print of that collected edition. So if you're a Punisher fan, not only, this is kind of a double whammy, not only do you get the full story arc from his first volume, but you also get a first appearance of his trade paperback. So that is pretty rad. And then this, so out of the box of stuff, we did find a big book. This is Savage Dragon number 102, okay? You may look at this and go, what is so significant about Savage Dragon, specifically number 102? Well, funny enough, it has nothing to do with Savage Dragon. This issue specifically has a 3-page preview for Invincible. That's actually, it predates Invincible number 1. So this is a preview of the Invincible series that's about ready to come out. All Invincible collectors are trying to get everything they can Invincible related. This is kind of hard to find. This is one of those books that if you don't know, you don't know. But I'm sitting here telling you, and now you know. So if you're an Invincible fan, Invincible collector, I only got one of these. This is a $100 book. These are going from anywhere between $80 to $150 on eBay right now. So I always shoot the center of what I see, and this is a $100 book. So hard to find. If you want to try to get one, there you go. It's very crispy. It's in great shape. Now, slabs. We have 9 minutes to show off some slabs. I will show you stuff that is not going to be available, but I want to show it off because it's come through the store. It's always cool stuff, and people like seeing their stuff on videos, right? How about Avengers Annual number 1, signed by Roy Thomas? Came back a 6.0. So this is very respectable, especially the type of book. This is one of those square-bound books. So square-bound books are very hard to get high grades on because the staples poke through. The square binding doesn't always sit square, doesn't sit straight. And plus with the type of glue that they have, you know, if you didn't handle it right, it had a high moisture or high heat content, that binding will pop off those pages real quick, real easy. So a 6.0 on a square-bound book is pretty cool. An autograph book on top of it is pretty rad. X-Men number 22, also signed by Roy Thomas. This is all going to the same collector, so he was just getting some of his books slabbed and authenticated. A 6.5 for that old of a book, which is, let's see, 1966. A 6.5 for a 66. Pretty rad. House of Mystery number 204, Bernie Wrightson autograph. So it came back a 5.5. Again, you know, Bernie Wrightson stuff, you know, he made some appearances. I don't think he's with us anymore, but still a 5.5 for an autograph book. You know, just an awesome classic, you know, movie monster, slime thing, alien, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a horror book. It's signed. It's rad. And then again, this book was just, it was found in a bin. He told me the story. The things people find. You always wanted to be yourself, but you have to be respectful and you have to be happy for your friends when they find things to add to their collection. But this is a Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 81, signed by Mr. Neil Adams here at the bottom. So, you know, kind of a random book to some extent. You know, a Neil Adams signature on anything is still super cool. He did pass away last year, so his stuff has been going up in value, especially all the classic stuff that he signed. You know, you're not getting anything new, that's for sure. And then this book is my book. This is a very special book to me. When I first started getting heavy into comic collecting, this was something that I scoured for and went out of my way to kind of find because I wanted something special to be autographed. This book I actually found on a half-price books 2 weeks before Emerald City Comic Con that I ended up getting it signed at. So again, I was on the hunt for something very special, very specific. While a half-price books find may not be as special, it was just kind of one of those right time, right places kind of thing, and I had to get it. Spent $15 on the book at the time, and it will never leave my collection until I die, or maybe my kids fall on hard times or something along those lines. But this is my book. Amazing Spider-Man, number 39, which is actually John Romita's very first Spider-Man art, autographed by Mr. Stan Lee. So it did come back at 3.5, which, funny enough, is exactly what I graded it out of my personal collection. It always makes me feel good when I grade things accurately. Usually, I'm within at least half a grade on things. But again, I knew I was going to be meeting the man at Emerald City Comic Con that summer. My girlfriend at the time and I was on the hunt for something to get him to sign, and I wanted something Spider-Man related, knowing that it was going to be the first time I met him, and at the time I thought maybe the only time I was ever going to be able to meet him. But luckily I was able to meet him past a few more times past that point. But yes, Spider-Man number 39, signed by Mr. Stan Lee. This is the first autograph that I ever got, and the first Stan Lee autograph that I ever got, which kind of is redundant if you think about that. But it's cool. It's cool, right? And then the last book for the day, this book will be for sale. Those of you that saw my post last week, I did get several slabbed books in, including a Spider-Man number 300, a 9/8 copy of Spider-Man number 361, a Secret Wars number 8 dual signed by Beatty and Shooter, which Shooter's not with us anymore. He also passed away last year. Those came in that collection. And then this book was also in the collection, but I swapped it out for a book that was in my collection because that book was in higher grade than the one that I had. So I'm selling the one that I had, which is a Spider-Man number 252, first black suit mainline appearance. And then graded at an 8.0 with the fancy custom label and the webbing there around the 8. So this is a very pretty book. A lot of people want this book in their collection right now. This book is just climbing the charts in popularity and price. All the Spider-Man books, are having their fair share of time on the census and marketplace. And everybody's just trying to grab the black suit stuff, Venom stuff. It's a very key moment in Spider-Man history. Obviously had long-lasting effects, and then is just part of that lore that everybody wants. So, Spider-Man 252, again, an 8.0 custom label. This is a direct edition, but a beautiful, beautiful book, regardless. And is one of those that everybody needs in their collection. So that is for sale. The Stan Lee one is not. So back off, buddy. That is my book. Anyway, you guys have a good day. Like I said, that's been What's in the Box. Tuesday, June 2nd. Keep an eye on the calendar of events. Tomorrow is New Comic Book Day. Lots of cool things, as it always do. It's a new month, so they've got... we're anticipating all the new releases of everything. Doom Quest is coming down the pipeline. Jalen Silent Bob Days of Future Past or whatever is coming out soon. The next Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, it's all going to be here. And I hope you're as excited about it as I am. So until then, have a wonderful, pleasant day. And most of all, Excelsior.